everyone, this is Matt, Peg, and the Stuff is United for Christ, and we're coming to you tonight with our lesson number three of our four-part series on STOP, which is Stop, Think, Observe, Plan. Now, I wanted to share this with you. When you're out there, whether you're in depression or you're lost out there in the woods, we might be bewildered when we're hikers sometimes. It happens to me, it happens to a lot of us. And sometimes when we get disorientated, we need to, we know we're disorientated, we need to stop, which means stop moving, don't take another step. Then we're supposed to think about our surroundings, what's going on around us. Do we recognize anything familiar? Anything that we could recognize that could help us undo what we just did. And then the next step is to observe, to make an observation. Now, this is very important. The Bible tells us, and there's like over 60 scriptures that are reference to the word observe, and many of them come down to one simple thing. Either somebody observed the commandments and observed the statutes that God installed for them, or they didn't. And when they didn't, they got into a lot of trouble some way or another. And being outdoors and hiking, and when you get disorientated, or when you're dealing with depression, it's the same thing. There's rules and there's ways to do things to back yourself out of whatever you got yourself into. But what we have to do is we have to be willing to calm our mind down, to stop, get our thinking under control. That means calm our mind down, to think rationally, so that way we can come up with the best plan based off of what we know is the right thing to do. So, what does observe have to do with that? Well, observe, much like it means to take a look around what you have and apply what you have. Make an observation, and how does it fit into your plan? That's just like, do I see any mountains? Do I recognize any trails? Do I recognize anything familiar? Am I taking an observation of the weather, my current situation? The sun, whether it's the daytime, nighttime, wind, snow, rain. Those are all part of observations. And we're supposed to make a plan off of those observations, including the tools that we have, which is very important. Because, you can't go out there and say, hey, I'm just going to cut a tree down because that's the right thing to do. And to go to all that work to find one, only to realize, oh, wait a minute, I didn't bring an axe. So we have to observe what we have around us now. And so when we make an observation, we bring all that information together. Like I said, whether it be loss or dealing with depression, we bring that information together. Being in depression, bringing that information together includes, did we see how we got up to this point? What happened that got me here? It's like hiking a trail. Where did I make a wrong turn, and how did that wrong turn get me here? Because there are 10 ways to get yourself into depression that are common, and if you don't, if you don't realize you done one of those things, you'll find yourself massively depressed and have no idea how you got there. So you got to stop and think and make observations. Now, I want to apply that to my story that I've been sharing with you when I got lost in the desert. Now, I stopped, I calmed my mind, so that way I didn't freak out. I started using my head, trying to take in what's around me, and I started making observations. And some of my observations included the weather, my location. It also included what knowledge I had and what tools I had. And one of the tools that I had was a compass. And another great tool that I had that I want to encourage everybody to have this thing, to go buy a Boy Scout handbook and learn it. One of my people asked me one time, what are the top 5 books I say every person should read? I say the Bible, and the number 2 book is the Boy Scout handbook. I believe is the number 2 book that every person should read and know. The 3rd book went on to there to Wilderness Survival. 4th book went on to there to what they call Pilot Error. And the 5th book was called What If. If you want to know what those other books are about, leave me a comment on Facebook or on YouTube. What are those other 2 books about? I'll tell you all about them. what I did was I made an observation. One of my observations was that I can't tell north, south, east, or west on my own because everything blended together. I couldn't tell where I was at. So I made a conscious decision that what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a baseline compass of north. That means I'm going to just move north, and I'm going to navigate whatever rounds in front of me to move north. That was my plan. I could do that. So my observation is I need to move north, and a part of, and as I kind of walked in that direction, kind of looked around what's north of me, I made another observation. And this is where the Boy Scout handbook also came in handy for me. Was that I saw Karens. And if you want to know what Karens are all about, please watch my next video on plan. And so this is the 3 to 4 stops here. You know, when you're lost or depressed, stop, think, and make observations around you. Observe everything going on around you, so that way you can compile them together to make a plan. This is Matt and Peg and Stuffy's United for Christ, coming to you from Leavenworth, Kansas, asking you to please be safe, be smart, have a purpose, and remember to stop, think, observe, and plan. And next week we'll be teaching you how to plan. Remember, be safe, be smart, have a purpose. You have a good night.